So Tulsi Gabbard, anti-imperialist extraordinaire and yoga pants wearer, is on Twitter once again posting cringe. So she posted this bizarre shit, calling out Joe Biden, whom she endorsed. Reminder, she endorsed Joe Biden over Bernie Sanders. Keep that in mind. Calling out Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The humanitarian and national security crisis on the southern border is the direct result of your open border policy. As I said in my 2020 presidential campaign, we can't have a secure nation if we don't secure our borders. So, I ask you, what? What? The humanitarian and national security crisis, again, what is that? The crisis is that they are whipping migrants and deporting them. Is the direct result of your open border policy. What? Help me out here. So, we are shutting the border down. Joe Biden is continuing the border wall, right? We have literal racists on horses whipping black migrants, deporting people to a country that is destabilized, that was destabilized by the United States, right? Joe Biden has deported more people than Donald Trump did, utilizing the Title 42 bizarre, unconstitutional, unlawful violation of international law. The border crisis is because the border is too strictly enforced and closed. So, what the fuck is she talking about? The open border policy. What? Now, again, I believe in open borders. That's my policy. I wish Joe Biden had an open border policy. That would be ideal. Maybe not during this pandemic. Maybe we'll have, I think we should quarantine half the country. I think we should have a closed border around, Texas, for example. That, but, that's just a joke, obviously. But I don't believe in borders. I think borders are fucking stupid, right? I think the idea that anyone controls the earth and that a human being could be considered illegal, I think that is ridiculous. As humans, we have inherited the earth from our ancestors. They gave us the planet that we live on now. And I believe it is a right to all humans to see any part of the world that they choose. I believe in freedom of movement, right? But Joe Biden does not. Joe Biden is having a stricter border than Donald Trump did. So again, Tulsi Gabbard is just going out there saying, open borders! Open borders! Maybe I can get on Tucker. Maybe I can get on Fox News. Gonna get on open borders. Gonna get on Fox News. But guess what? That actually happened. She's actually on Fox News. So let's check this out. Look at this one. So she went on Fox News. I was hoping that Biden would keep his promise to try and unite our country. But instead, this admin has used race and identity politics to divide us. Our freedom of speech and civil liberties are under assault. Inflation is going through the roof. And we've got open borders. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What? And then wait for it. The fuck is going on here? So this is clearly living in a fantasy land. Let's watch.
Let's bring in former Hawaii Democratic Congresswoman, former presidential candidate, and Army reservist, Tulsi Gabbard. She's just back from deployment in Africa to go after al-Qaeda affiliated jihadists there. Congresswoman, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Brett.
I want to talk about Afghanistan, foreign policy, and counterterrorism, but I want to start on the issue of immigration that's pressing now in the news. You tweeted out this today. You said the Biden-Harris open door policy has been a disaster. It needs to end now. The main beneficiaries of open borders are the gangs, cartels, and human traffickers.
We don't have
the Trump
open
policy
borders.
of having people wait on the other side of the border worked and needs to be reinstated. Your thoughts about what's happening in Del Rio and how the administration is handling it?
It's not open border. The border is
it is an utter disaster and failure, and it's directly attributed to the Biden-Harris administration's open border policy.
But the
this
border's
is
closed.
not only a humanitarian crisis, it is a national security crisis, and it's something I've said all along,
closed.
which is that if we do not secure our borders, then we can't have a secure nation.
Obama and Biden, did they just have that, Chiron saved and they loaded it? It's like, yeah, we had this one 6 years ago. Let's just bring it back in. What does Obama have to do with any of this? What the fuck are they talking about? The border is closed. It is being strictly enforced, and Joe Biden has deported more people in less of a time using Title 42 than Donald Trump did. Biden is increasing deportations, and more strictly closing the border, and he's got cowboys on horseback whipping black migrants. What on God's green motherfucking shit-fucking cocksucking fuck ass fuck is this bitch on? What? The humanitarian crisis is a direct result of the border being strictly closed. If the border were open, people could walk into the country, get a job, and then start feeding their families. What the fuck is she doing? Now imagine, there are people out there that 2 years ago, 1 year ago, were telling you, oh yeah, Tulsi Gabbard, she is more to the left than Bernie Sanders, right? Remember that during the primary? Remember a year ago? A year and a half ago? Remember? You had those left-wing YouTubers going, yeah, like Tulsi Gabbard, yeah. Yeah, no, she's actually to the left of Bernie on foreign policy. Is there going to be any accountability for those dumb fuck motherfuckers out there? Anyway, let's continue. I want to get through this whole thing because it's brutal.
There are so many issues that have happened under this administration that have led to this point, and their continued failure of leadership is exacerbating the crisis that we're seeing play out before.
Now, I agree with that. There is a failure of leadership. But it's not because of open borders. The borders are fucking closed, you dipshit.
Our very eyes.
But do you think, having been in Congress, that Congress can deal with this issue?
Congress has proven, unfortunately, to put partisan politics ahead of actually passing real necessary immigration policy reform. But what we've seen under the last several months under this administration, unfortunately, and Joe Biden is a friend, I hold no malice towards him, but I have to say that the policies and decisions...
So you hold no malice towards him, yet you're lying about his border policy? Yeah, Joe's my friend. I love the guy, but did you see he was wearing this purple uniform? He had a clown makeup on. Can you show us the video of that? Yeah, it's just, Oh, can you believe Kamala Harris was, walking on a tightrope the other day at the circus and then fell onto an elephant? Ha! Classic Kamala. Oh, could you show us? Yeah, but she's my friend. My point here is that she's just making shit up. That's the point.
Decisions that have been made via executive order by the White House have led to this open border policy with thousands, tens of thousands of people coming and attempting to and sometimes successfully streaming across the border.
And you think that's a national security?
Okay, so the border's open, yet people are attempting to enter the country? So the border's open. It's an open border. You can just walk right through, and people are attempting to walk right through and then being deported, and then being whipped, and then being assaulted and thrown in cages and concentration camps. That's her version of open borders.
Security threat as well.
It absolutely is. How can you say that it's not when we have no idea who is coming across the border? And once again, how can we ensure safety and security for the American people when we don't have a secure border?
But those with the lowest IQ,
fight,
only the really,
about how it's evolving, how it's going to change.
But those with the lowest IQ
will meet terrorist threats that arise today and in the future with a full range of tools available to us. We're better equipped to detect and prevent terrorist threats, and we are more resilient in our ability to repel them and to respond.
There are a lot of people, Congresswoman, who say,
what does that even mean?
What happened in Afghanistan and what is happening now and how we handled it has really opened the door for more terrorists. You've just come back from Africa, which is also a hotbed of radical jihadists. Your thoughts on where we are?
Well, as you know, Brett, in both East and West Africa, there is a surge of these jihadist terrorists. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and affiliated groups are increasing in their strength. The withdrawal from Afghanistan is something that I agreed with, but unfortunately, the way that this administration executed that withdrawal has been an utter and abject disaster, which is continuing to play out
Tulsi,
as we speak. For those who say, and we should continue to monitor Afghanistan to make sure that there are no Al-Qaeda and ISIS strongholds that are allowed to start to take root. If we're seeing that that's starting to happen, then we need to go and take them out. But we should not be under the illusion that this is a problem that's only limited to Afghanistan. And the proof of that is that Al-Qaeda, for a very long time, has been able to get refuge and actually have training camps and support in Pakistan, which is a problem that not only hasn't been addressed, but we've seen the United States continue to support Pakistan.
So, is she advocating for war against Pakistan? What is happening? Like, what is going on? This is the anti-war candidate.
In spite of this known fact and reality. So this is a bigger issue here that really needs to be addressed.
Are you still a Democrat?
Yes.
And will continue to be, despite the criticism on a number of fronts?
Well, look, I've never been about party politics, Brett. I think you know that about me. I'm about putting country first. And the problems that we're seeing on a whole host of policy fronts is those in positions of power and leadership putting partisan politics, their own selfish desire for power, ahead of the interests of the country, ahead of the interests of the people. And that's what I always try to do my very best in looking at different policies, is we have to put the people and the interests of our country first.
Well, I want to ask you about this. You know, we're just getting the tip of the iceberg about this John Durham investigation, and there's been an indictment of a Hillary Clinton attorney, Mr. Sussman, about basically infusing this Russia narrative with the help of various media outlets and others. And it may go other places. We don't know. We're following it. But you have a unique perspective in that Hillary Clinton once called you a Russian asset. Just to remind people, take a listen.
They're also going to do third party again. And I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. Yeah, she's a Russian asset. I mean, totally. And so they know they can't win without a third party candidate.
They went on to confirm that that was you that she was referring to. Your thoughts as we're starting to get this Durham investigation?
Like, I really, again, the race and identity politics part here, what the hell is she talking about? Like, what is, like, Joe Biden is using identity politics? What the hell does that mean? I hope we get to that.
And what that means.
Confirms what I've known to be true, which is that you have the power elite, people like Hillary Clinton, those around her, working with the media, the deep state, in order to bring down the destruction and downfall of anyone that they deem to be a threat to their power. Outsiders, people like me, people like Donald Trump, doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican, if they identify, hey, this is someone who's not going to toe the line, this is someone who's not going to follow kind of the establishment way of things that are accepted, they pose a threat, and we will do, they will do all they can to silence or censor or cancel what they view to be a threat. And so this is bigger than about me or Trump or anyone else. This is actually a threat to our country and our democracy, and the arrogance that these people have in thinking they have the right to manipulate the American people, what they view, what they hear, what they see, all to preserve their own selfish interests, not caring at all about the impact on the country, the impact of the American people, and who gets hurt along the way.
I hate to say this, but those with the
Welcome
lowest
back in
IQ.
Thank you.
Folks, I read like she's getting like a fucking long ass puff piece on Fox motherfucking News. What is going on here? What the fuck is she? Okay, so Joe Biden has a stricter and more tightly controlled and closed border than Donald Trump. That's the fact. Yet, she's going on Fox News talking about his open border policy. So Joe Biden is giving cops more money, 3xing police budgets all across the country, but also he's using race and identity politics to divide us. I mean, if maybe that would make sense if the sheer fact that he's funding police that will enforce a racist ideology, maybe that, I guess that is literally dividing people on race because you're enforcing one race, enforcing laws on one race more than another, which is how policing in this country works. But she didn't make that argument, right? What the hell is going on? What is she talking about? What is she, she is on drugs. She is, legit. She is, I think she went to Africa to, take part in some, ancient psychedelic rituals, and now she's lost her fucking marbles. What the hell is going on here? What in the goddamn fuck? She is on drugs, folks. Goddamn. I'm just gonna play it one more time. I mean, I have to. I mean, there's no...
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ...
Goddamn, folks. Goddamn.